All right, let's continue. The development team. The development team is a self-organizing and cross-functional group responsible for delivering the product increment. The team collaborative or the team collaborates closely to determine how to accomplish the work and organize themselves to optimize productivity and quality. So this team is it comprises of developers that helps actualize those things we have in our product backlog or the sprint backlog, actualize it into a working software or into a demoable item. So as a coach or as a scrum master, you want to help the team be self-organizing. You want to help the development team be self-organizing. Yeah, you want to also encourage cross-functional group. You want to organize those code reviews to help with knowledge transfer among the development team. So always encourage Scrum Masters to be a great advocate in things that brings value to the development team. Um, Most importantly is the self-organizing. You want to make that team strong enough, even with the cross-functional, creating a cross-functional team. It also boils down to self-organizing so that if there's maybe someone on a sick leave, our whole entire sprint is not ruined, but just waiting for maybe a developer on the team. So the team needs to have that avenue where they can discuss on various things they're working on and also share knowledge so they can be cross-trained in different aspects of the work that goes into actualizing the product backlog into a demoable item or into a working software. So I want to discuss Scrum artifacts and a layman definition of artifacts are those things that can make our work easy. So if you're an artisan, you use artifacts. If you're an artist, you want to use brush, paints, canvas. So those are the things that can make an artist achieve their goals. So if you're a musician, your artifact would be paper, pen, and microphone. You also want to have drum set. You want to have instrument, that can help you achieve those good melodies. So for our Scrum team, we have few artifacts that help us achieve our goal, which are product backlog. What is a product backlog? Product backlog is a prioritized list of all the desired features, enhancements, the bug fix for the product. And the product owner is responsible for creating and maintaining the backlog, ensuring it is well defined, ordered, and transparent to the team. That's also something I talked in the previous video about the the product owner want to go out there and ensure that the product backlog is ready. you know the definition of ready is meant with every backlog refinement section. Sometimes the coach or the scrum master can help with facilitating those ceremonies, helping the team ask those questions that can bring light towards the acceptance criteria, and having those conversations with the product owner to ensure that the business sense of the product is actually captured in those acceptance criteria. And another thing, or another artifact is the sprint backlog. Well, to define the sprint backlog contains the subset of the product backlog items that the development team commits to completing during a sprint. It serves as a plan for the sprint with tasks and estimates assigned to the individual team members. So the estimate is being assigned to the by the individuals on the team to those stories. Um, so one of the tools I use in making sure that everybody has a a clear understanding of what we have committed to a sprint is sprint backlog refinement section. I use that tool by implementing the Fibonacci story pointing, like Fibonacci sequence into like, having those story pointing with the team helps me understand what a team members understanding is towards the story. So through our voting, sometimes a good example is if I present a story to a team and we have four people on the team, and I asked them to vote on a story, and maybe two people on the team voted two, and one person on the team is voting five, and the other person is voting one. So during those voting section, I have a conversation with the team. I'm like asking the other team member that voted one, why do you think this is one story point? You know, or asking the other person that voted five, because there's a correlation with the two team members that voted two. There's more two, or if there's like a more uniform number, and there's either an odd or a very high number on the team voting, you want to ask those questions to those team members. Why did you vote this low, or why did you vote at this high for this story? So thereby we having those conversations where through those conversations we creating a clearer understanding within the team what that story entails in bringing value. A third artifact is increment. So the increment is the sum of all the product backlog item completed during a sprint, as well as the integrated and the tested increments from a previous sprint. It represents the tangible process made by the development team and should be potentially shippable, meeting the definition of done. So it brings us to the sprint review. We looking during the sprint review, we looking at, is the definition, the DOD, is it met? The definition of done. Have we met that? That being said, let's go review let's review Scrum ceremonies. So Scrum incorporates four essential ceremonies that provide the structure and the opportunity for collaboration throughout the project. So what are the Scrum ceremonies? Let me start by saying all ceremonies are very important, because I've heard about, I've gotten questions from so many coach, so many team members, even project managers. What are the important ceremonies I need to attend? If I can make all of them. Even product owners be like, what are the important ceremonies I need to be on? Just to answer that question, all ceremonies are very important. They bring different value to the team, and that's another thing I said in the previous video. Every ceremony is, if you're the if you're presenting any ceremonies in Scrum, ensure that they bring in value. Ensure, if they're not bringing value, the mission has been I mean, the mission, you failed in the mission. So ensure they bring in value to the team. Okay, let's go down. Let's boil down to the ceremonies. Four ceremonies are the key ceremonies in Scrum. The first one is the sprint planning. So the sprint planning is a collaborative session where the development team select backlog item for the upcoming sprint. And the sprint planning, we want to ensure that we getting a definition of ready. We want to ensure that our stories are ready to be worked on. We're asking those questions, we're gathering acceptance criteria, ensuring that there's a clear understanding of this story to the whole development team. And the second ceremony is the daily scrum. What is a daily scrum? So a daily scrum is a 15-minute stand-up meeting to synchronize the team, discuss progress, and identify any blockers. There, in that ceremony, is you asking those important three questions. What have you worked on the last 24 hours? What are you planning on working in the next 24 hours? And if you have any blockers, you letting the team know about it. And the Scrum Master uh, being a facilitator, facilitate that daily stand up, and he also help with blocking things or blocking impediments for the team. You as a Scrum Master, you helping get those impediments the team might have before they or should I say the blockers the team might have before they turn to a big impediment that could affect the project, the overall project. So very important. I keep saying it. Don't be like, oh, it's just 15 minutes and you're not attending the daily stand up, or we keep talking about same thing we talked about yesterday. No, it's still very important for the team. Is I've to me, I feel like daily stand up is the most important ceremony on the Scrum framework, because those 15 minutes you gathering the last 24 hours, the next 24 hours, there's nothing more good than getting the last and the next 24 hours, which is pretty much if you run your ceremonies right, your daily stand up, you shouldn't have an impediment that will obstruct the project. So make sure as a coach, you're helping run those good daily stand up that gets those three three benefit out of transparency. Pretty much, you